beautiful people. Welcome back to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and my fabulous co-host is James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Link hey everybody, like the video, comment to the comment section if you're watching the playback. Make sure you live with us in the chat and subscribe to my girls' channel because y'all know y'all love us, so go ahead and do so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Welcome in, Shani, who was the first to be here, our thuggin' twin. I am happy that you made it back. We got to talk about the foolery that was this. This is, in my opinion, one of the worst seasons of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I have watched every single season since season 1. And I didn't like this season. Oh, DM Rock said, I am here. Welcome in. Happy hump day. Bose, Erica, and Dorit can all go. They can. We're definitely going to get into that. I am disgusted with all 3 of them for different reasons. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I really am. I do think that Garcelle being gone is a good thing. She had no storyline, regardless on how we feel. I got to be ethical. Garcelle has not had a storyline in a while. She's used her children for a storyline. She's talked about her divorce that happened a long time ago for her storyline. But other than that, she doesn't have a storyline. Garcelle would fit better as a friend of, but she's also too much of a star, in my opinion, to be a friend of. They will never give Garcelle the respect as a friend of that they give to people like Kathy and Jennifer Tilly. Her money ain't long enough yet. I'm sorry, but it's getting there. Now, this was the season finale. The season finale is, they called it a Caribbean send-off. Okay, cool. I guess. There's several things. I am going to be reading Bose for Filth. So anybody who loves her, I'm sorry in advance. African community, I'm a part of your community too. I am just as African. And this, listen, I understand that comment. Not all kinfolk is, not all skin folks kinfolk. I'm just saying. But we pretty much see the ladies on the boat after, you know, Sutton's calming down and trying to get the hell away from them after they essentially gang up on her. And this is where they're jumping into the water and all of these things. And it was interesting. Dorit, what happened to Beverly Beach? Whose bathing suit are you wearing right now? Is it your own? Because if I was going through the financial issues that I'm going through, as well as a pre-foreclosure on another house, you know, I'd be wearing my clothing items that I used to sell that won't sell. I'd be doing that. But I just want to know, what happened to Beverly Beach? I know Homeless Not Toothless is in some trouble, but where's Beverly Beach? Just saying. But Sutton is mad. And I appreciated Jennifer Tilly for being an actual friend to Sutton. I felt like Jennifer Tilly was more of a friend to Sutton in this situation than Garcelle. But I also feel like Garcelle has every right to not support Sutton. Because I'll be damned if anytime I'm around people, I'm defending James. But then the one time that I need some defending, his ass doesn't want to defend me or wants me to let stuff go. Like, if you really have a true friendship with somebody, you better match the energy in terms of loyalty.
And that's what I was saying last week. What we're saying now, that's what I was saying last week. I felt Garcelle on that. And I wouldn't have piped up either because I felt like it doesn't matter when I do it. And then I'm getting all this scrutiny from these other women when I do it. So, yeah, I'm going to let the person who it matters to you do it and see that she didn't do it.
Let me get the comments before we move forward, y'all. Dia Rock said, I'm fine with Kyle and Sutton being the only two. Yeah, if those two, like, stay or leave. I think Sutton should leave the show. Not because I want her to. She's my favorite housewife. But I think that these women are jealous of her money, especially with them going through divorces. I think they're like, damn, she got a divorce without the public scrutiny and is basically a multimillionaire because of it. Meanwhile, they have nothing. And their men look happier without them. Hell. Shani said, I need Jennifer Tilly to stay on the show. I love her. I don't think Jennifer Tilly will make it on this show with just Sutton.
I don't think so either.
I don't think. You agree?
I agree with that. I don't think she'll make it just with Sutton. She needs to bring another element to the show. Now, what may save her now that Garcelle is gone is if she brings another one of her friends on the show. And I need like a kooky, Like not no proper one like Bose. I need like a you know who actually she can bring on the show and actually have a diamond is she needs to bring on Jennifer Coolidge. If she brings on Jennifer Coolidge, I'm here for Beverly Hills.
I think Beverly Hills needs to mix it up. When you go to Beverly Hills, as quiet as kept, you don't see just white people everywhere. There are people of all colors. There's a heavy Asian community there. Uh, there's all sorts of different colors of people, though. That's the beauty in California. A lot of people of different colors, races, backgrounds can congregate for the most part together until political season comes around. But they'll congregate together. So I would prefer to see a cast that actually represents what Beverly Hills is, not this. DM Rock says, if Dorit comes back next season, I have a tagline for her. I want you to hear it. He said her tagline should be, I'm poor, no husband, no home, but I still ride. The tag is the truth. So we can't expect that because she doesn't tell the truth. I think tagline should say, I might be homeless, but I'm not toothless. She about to be. They about to put her out. And this is not their first foreclosure. So I'm interested to see. And she gonna have trouble divorcing with all that debt because California gonna make them split it down the middle more than likely. Let me see. Dia Rock said, I want Christine from Bling Empire. You know, that's a show I actually think James would be really good at recapping. Just putting that out there, everybody.
Don't put that all the way out there.
Who's that? Oh, wow. I believe she's an actress. I've heard of her in a few different things, but she's very relevant in Beverly Hills. I do think that she would fit. The problem is I think she's too relevant for a show like this. Even though all of these women may have money and success, it's not. I think Housewives sometimes they're still to a certain extent not.
Would fit better with Jennifer Tilly's personality because I don't feel like Jennifer Tilly's personality fits with any of these women, and this episode proved that to me. So yeah. I feel like she needs another kooky woman like her on the show, and it will balance it out a little bit better.
Yeah. They did ask Tisha Campbell, and she did provide receipts, and she said that she might consider it in the future, but she get on my nerves.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
I don't like her. I was irritated. So for those who are younger, don't laugh at me. I used to have a subscription to Jet magazine, right? And I remember reading an article and she was talking about how her son and everybody compares her to Beyonce and said that she was just the finest thing ever. I said at that moment I was done with her. And then look at what we had to go through with Martin ending. Absolutely not. And I don't like her ex-husband. I just don't like her. And she needs a haircut and something, a weave, a wig, something. She needs the Lord. But I do think they need to switch up and stop looking for people who are like already famous in Beverly Hills and maybe try to actually find housewives. Just a suggestion. Tired of seeing single people try to figure it out. We all see that in our own daily lives. There's not much difference between somebody rich and somebody not so rich, trying to figure out being single, dating, navigating it. So they definitely need to do something with this show because it's the Hot Mess Express right now. Now, Garcelle mentions to Sutton how Kyle did not have her back. Garcelle, shut up and let this woman sink. That's how I feel. I love Sutton to death, but I also feel like I get where you're coming from, Garcelle. You've come so hard for her and you want to have her do the same thing in return for you. But I think Sutton knows and won't admit to Garcelle that these women, I just can't see Sutton defending Garcelle in the same way. I did see this Watch What Happens live and I was disgusted with, I wasn't surprised with Erica. Erica behaved how I expected. I expect no good or honesty or kindness from Erica, right? And I think anyone who expects good from Erica after how she handled the Tom Girardi thing and how she discussed it at the end of this episode is crazy. Bose showed her, okay, Uncle Ruckus. That's what I'm going to say about Bose. Because Bose's silence in that Watch What Happens live clip and the episode as a whole, when asked about Garcelle leaving the show, Bose's silence was weird. Because why do you have a problem with Garcelle? What do you know that we don't know? So I'm going to wait and watch the reunion before I offer more of an opinion. But I'm disgusted with bows. Miss, I'm wearing only black designers to the reunion and I only hire an all black team and this and that. But as quiet as it's kept, Bose, you have one of the worst hairstylists in black hair. Sorry. And if you really supported black people the way that you would, then you would work 20 times harder to align with the one black person on this cast. You would have been up Garcelle's ass instead of knocking on Dorit's foreclosed door. Just saying.
I wouldn't even want her to be up Garcelle's ass. I just think I would have wanted her to align more with Garcelle, being that that's the only other black woman on this cast. And not to mention, you on your other interviews, you were just saying that, you had so many fans come up to you saying, now that you're here, Garcelle can go. And you said heavily, why does Garcelle have to go? Why can't one of the other white women go? So the fact that you had that kind of energy, but on this show, you showed up completely different. That's why I can't see it for Bose, y'all. She's too thirsty. I can't see it for her.
I said this about Bose early on, and a lot of people did not understand where I was coming from, but there's some black folk who get around and make successful careers in the marketing industry and learn and train themselves unintentionally to appease the Caucasian person that they used to working for, with, and or under. Right? And I think she brought a little bit of that to this cast. I do not like it. I don't trust women like Bose. If you have to profess and proclaim constantly, I'm about black sisterhood, I'm about my culture, then there's something in that that's off. I think people will naturally want to share their culture, their background, things of that nature. But the way that Bose moves, I don't trust her. And if you can survive corporate America, I don't fucking trust you. That's how I feel. Politics in corporate America, I'll be watching people with side eyes. I just do. Just do. Now, he says, apparently Bose said, I would sue you if you said my robbery was fake. Oh.
I heard that too.
Yeah. I mean, I understand Garcelle getting up and walking away from that because it's like, bitch, you just got here and you threatening to sue me when you know this broke bitch is looking for a payday because she want to pay off her debts to the Bellagio. I don't like that. I don't like that. I no longer like Bose. So I see that it's like 50-50. You got, in terms of the black community, you got them black folk that's like, there's a sister on the show. We got to support her regardless, blindly. And then you have the other half of us that actually think and are like, no, wait a minute. You sat up here in every episode of this season. You clung to Dorit and said these other women were wrong. Then when the season's almost over, you start realizing the women don't want to fuck with you. And it's causing a rift. And now you suddenly are trying to rush getting to know Kyle, rush getting to know Sutton individually. Now you want to rush that. You should have been doing that from the beginning. So I don't like Bose. Kathy says Jennifer Coolidge has her buxom blonde Russian from Two Brothers Be Girls. I'm watching it now. I knew she would know. Oh yeah, I heard that. It looks like a bitch they went and is agreeing. She said, yeah, they say Bose really caters to the clear side in the workplace. Of course, it was her reputation.
Yeah, we knew that.
Let me tell y'all something. If people would get, oh my God, the halftime show, this and that. The halftime show also has a history of being unfair towards people of color, especially African Americans. Pepsi's been accused of that in their factories individually. Look up the lawsuits with Pepsi because she worked for them, and I can talk about it because it is settled. It is settled. Google Pepsi and all the lawsuits and the things that they do to wrong their employees working in their factories all over the country and the world. It's quiet as it's kept. And Netflix, okay, you worked in marketing and all of that for Netflix, but Netflix is just now getting a lot of shows that are produced by Black people, written by Black writers. That hell, they just now taking Tyler Perry on. Why they wasn't doing that when Bose was working there? I'm just saying. So if you really pay attention, Bose's accolades do not support Black culture. The Super Bowl, we're seeing Black people on the Super Bowl now because quite as kept, Jay-Z owns a portion of that and is contributing, but not because of the work that Bose did. Bose ain't done no work to support the Black community within her positions of employment. Now, to be fair, she was a marketing officer, but she didn't put very much effort into marketing towards the Black community. Are you the reason why you can find 1,000 different flavors and bottles of Pepsis when you're in a Black liquor store, but if you go to a white neighborhood, you can hardly find it? Are you the reason why, Bose? I'm just saying. So I've been said this, and some people tried to eat me up earlier in the review, because me and James didn't quite trust Bose and like the way she was moving. We had high hopes for her, but she's a mess. I saw that she's getting dragged right now because you do that with Erica Jane. You talking about allegedly telling someone they would sue you. How about the ladies could have potentially sued NBC Universal and all of these people for even forcing them to film with somebody like Erica? Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Kathy said, correction, the blonde buxom from Two Broke Girls. The nail tech from Legally Blonde, she's asking. Some fans want someone on the show to go against Erica because the girls are scared of her. The girls act scared of Erica, and I will continue to say this. Put Erica on the Housewives of New Jersey. Put Erica on the Housewives of Miami, which are coming back in June. Yes, we'll be recapping. Put Erica on the Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine. Put Erica anywhere else, and she knows what she can and cannot do. Because she would never, Erica would never behave the way she behaves with these women with anybody else. She just wouldn't. The bend and snap. I cannot. The bend and snap. I haven't watched that movie in years. But we're going to move on. They show Sutton basically talking to Garcelle and all of that. And Sutton is saying to production, she's saying in her confessionals that the ladies have been trying to break her for seasons. And they provided receipts to where even my husband was like, wow. Shout out to Also Best, Mr. Josiah. He was like, oh, wow, they finally showed something to support Sutton. Because people love Sutton. They got my husband paying attention to this show because of her. I'm trying to tell you, men don't care about this shit. They usually don't. So I'm looking like, okay. But Sutton doesn't really react and act a fool unless these women poke and prod and bother her. And it irks me because you can't compare any of it. I know later down the episode, Erica tries to say, oh, well, Sutton questioned me. Sutton questioned you and explained that she was being told by her attorney to ask these questions, provided the proof of it, and was sent the LA Times article from her attorney. So it was a different line of questioning. Sutton was trying to protect what she had because we knew nothing about the atrocities that Erica and her husband were committing. There's a reason she's not granted that divorce. That's all I'm going to say. So we'll see. But I'd like to take a moment and see if James agrees with me. Fire your hairstylist, Bose. You want to represent Black culture and you putting this mess on your head?
I'm laughing at Dean Rox's comment about remember when Garcelle got on her knees to apologize to Erica. One of the things that made Sutton my favorite housewife was the look that Sutton gave Garcelle when she did that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the funniest look, and the camera panned right on Sutton. Sutton was like, girl, if you don't get your ass up and stop hooking up on that girl.
I think that was the moment that Sutton stopped defending Garcelle so much. I'm glad that came up. But I also think Sutton being from the South, I think she also understands, you don't get your Black ass up.
Right, because Sutton knew Erica was full of shit. That's why she looked at Garcelle. That was the best scene of that whole season, was that scene, because I was looking at Garcelle like, what is you doing? Like, I know damn well you is not doing this. Offer to bite you in your ass the next season.
Garcelle had hell coming on this show, so I understand why she behaves the way that she does. But what bothers me is Bose, the moment Garcelle is gone, because they don't want Garcelle and Sutton there because Garcelle and Sutton steal the thunder and popularity from Kyle, Erica, and Doris. Nobody liked them. They just the ones that stayed around. But nobody actually likes them like that.
We want the three of them to leave the show as quickly as possible, but we know for certain that Kyle's going to have to leave on her own allegiance. They're not going to Vicky Gunderson or Nene Leakes her. So she's going to have to leave on her own accordance. Doris is going to make up bullshit to stay on this show because she needs the check. And the same goes for Erica. That's why Erica pissed me off on Watch What Happens Live, because I'm like, at least Garcelle has the means to actually leave the show. She doesn't need it.
Well, I mean, you do have a valid point, though. You do have a very valid point with that. That makes sense. I have no argument to that at all, honestly. Let me see. Did I miss any? Abiste when it says Sutton is exactly who I thought she was from the beginning. Who did you think that she
Who did you
was?
think she was? I'm curious.
Good or bad?
Yeah,
I would love to know more.
I think it's indifferent, but
Bo, send the hairdresser back to Zamunda. The hairdressers in Zamunda do a better job than this shit. Bose needs to. She just needs to fire the hairdresser. If you're gonna wear that foolery on her head, then at least do it to where it looks classy, kind of like it does in this visual that you guys are looking at. But I don't know. She needs to fire her hairstylist immediately. Everything she did with them braids was terrible. I am the queen of braids. I'm always in braids. James will tell you. It's
I'm
very
gonna
rare
tell
that
y'all in the almost 20 years that I have known Mrs. Best, I've never seen her without braids. And that's a long ass time to know somebody and never seen them outside of some braids. And it's not like
listen.
it's the same braid style. No, she changes up the style of them. She has. But I have never seen, I don't know what her hair looks like. I don't know anything about what's on top of Mrs. Best's head, except I know she's going to have some braids the next time I see her.
Let me tell you why I'm gonna have some braids because I got too much fucking hair and I don't want. I don't like to comb my hair. I hate it. I grew up with dreadlocks, cut them in high school, and then start playing with hair. And my hair just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And I don't like that. But I also have alopecia that gets really bad sometimes. It gets really, really bad in the winter. So I have to braiding helps putting all that edge control, toxic wigs, people losing their hairlines, ain't got no edges. So I just wear braids. It's easier. I'll be too tired in the morning, y'all. It's the truth. Abiste Winning says, I no longer like Kathy either. I haven't forgotten about that gay bashing stuff that she said to the DJ either. I respect that a lot. I think a lot of people are so quick to kiss Kathy Hilton's ass because they think, oh my gosh, Hilton, the money and this and that. Kathy Hilton, let me say this. I think that Hilton has good and long money, but I think in terms of cash on hand, there's not as much. Kathy is here for a reason. I was extremely offended and pissed off when she did what she did at Sutton's fashion show, because if Sutton would have flipped out, they would have been like, oh my gosh. And I don't think that she's good to be on this cast, because what we saw when Lisa Rinna was leaving and the Kimosabi and previous seasons, it seems like they're willing to kiss Kathy's ass and not keep it real just because they think she has money. That's just my opinion. I don't like
I just feel like with Kathy, because of who she is and the power she does have in Beverly Hills, she's allowed to get away with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Although there wasn't much receipt on her saying this. I mean, I don't remember the details. I do remember that that was alleged, but did they ever prove that she actually did that?
Ciao. Who knows?
Because I don't believe Erica. I remember that came out of Erica's mouth. I don't believe Erica. I don't. I feel like Erica has attorney talk, and sometimes with attorney talk, there sometimes are lies in between. And when Erica says, "I'm not a liar, I'm not a liar," that's the biggest sign that you're a liar. Everybody lies when it's convenient for you. So I don't want to hear that from Erica. So that's why I said, unless I have another source outside of Erica who originally brought that to a light, that's when I will have a different opinion about Kathy. But until then, I'm indifferent to Kathy. I think she's funny. She reminds me of like when rich and people try to be normal because they're tired of people having that stigma about them, but they can't help themselves. That's why Kathy is funny to me, because she tries to be normal, but in the instance of her trying to be normal, the rich still shows out of her. She can't help it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me see. Bo, send your hairdresser back to the first season of A Different World.
Oh, damn. That was a read.
She do look like that lady Dawn something. Who did she play? She was married to Sinbad.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think
you
of
know
her
who I'm
name.
talking
Yeah,
about?
I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
That dramatic ass black ass theme song. I love A Different World. I'm a weirdo though. I love all them older shows. A bitch say what it says. She reminds me of the rich, clear women here in Jacksonville that are actually think they're not racist, but they are at least somewhat biased due to privilege. Yeah, probably unintentional microaggressions. That's what Dorit reminds me of a
I was
lot.
gonna say that's more describing Dorit than Sutton. I feel like Sutton's always going to have that stigma. Like, I do agree with you a bit, Stay Winning, that that was how I felt about her when I first saw her on TV. I did get that initially from her, and it was the little things that she said. That's why when Crystal brought up the dark comment, I wanted to know what it was. And so when she alluded to it being about the jacuzzi thing, when her daughter had the black girl and the Asian girl, and Sutton said, "Oh, that's how it's supposed to be." And so I felt like if she was talking about that, I don't really classify that as being racist. I'm more aligned that with ignorant
Mm.
than I did racist. So I kind of felt like that was an ignorant thing to say because it's like, why would that even matter to begin with? But I'm just saying, I felt like through her being in Hollywood now, I feel like she's toned down and has become more down to earth, more so than she was when she first got it. Because I didn't like her when I first met her. When we first
I
met her
didn't
on the show,
either.
I did not like her at all. I thought she was way too elitist. I thought she was way too. The only time I liked her is when she got Teddy together because I don't like Teddy. That was the only time I liked her. But other than that, the microaggressions, the Karen moments, I was over it. What one Sutton over for me is when she went at Erica. That's what won her over for me. And when she kept doing it, and when she didn't take her foot off Erica's neck, I said, "Oh, okay, she'll go toe to toe." Erica had to threaten her in order for her to stop. And I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play with her either because I don't want to be involved in that mess. So I didn't blame Sutton for backing down. I would have too. But I'm just saying, it took me a lot to get to a point where I liked her. That's what I'm gonna say.
I like Sutton as a housewife, but I do agree with what Abyss Day Winning is saying. I also do agree. I have family in the Deep South, not Florida, but I have family in Mississippi, New Orleans, in the Deep South. I mean, rural areas. I do feel like they have a little bit better discernment than people like myself or even in other areas as it relates to like some clear women coming off as okay, but still having those biases and things that relate to race negatively. And I do think that Sutton has that and showed it um, a lot. I definitely think that. I also don't think it matters what's proved or not as it relates to Kathy. Kathy is a lot and not in a positive way. I don't really care. Kathy's funny, but I think it was a bitch day winner who also pointed out that on Kathy's daughter's show, it was a whole different person. So Kathy is not authentic at all
No,
on this
she's
show.
not. And no, and I don't ever think that she will be. I just think she's funny. I just think it's funny to see rich people try to do very normal people things that they normally don't do. Like to see Kathy Hilton drive a car, I
Mhm.
didn't think she had a license. So it was actually kind of funny to watch that. So I just think it's funny.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the little things are funny, but I think if like we pay attention to the deep stuff with Kathy, Kathy can go and she could take her raggedy ass sister with her. We like Kim back though.
Absolutely.
Don't
We
take
love
Kim.
Kim. No, I love Kim. Kim can come back.
And this is an important comment too because it is embedded in her
I agree with
from
the
her
comment.
mama, and we
Absolutely.
all saw that with how
Yeah.
Reba was towards Garcelle and how Reba was towards Kyle, who's treated her daughter like trash and assaulted her daughter publicly with the lip liquor.
For me, it felt like when I was looking at the element of that, it was given that Reba went too far removed from racism. So seeing Garcelle was kind of like the norm of probably what she was like in her 20s. And then seeing Kyle probably reminds her of like the Hilly of what's that movie called, The Help? Where she's always been the prettier one, the upper, echelon one. And, they always bound down to women like her.
I can agree. I can agree. I can agree. Kim does not stay at Kim is struggling, but we gonna wish Kim well.
I'm gonna wish
That's what
Kim
we're
well
gonna do.
because I feel like a part of that, plays on Big Kathy and some of Kyle. Because I tell you, I never let that shit go in the back of that limo. I don't let that go. I promise y'all. Every time I
It's
see,
also interesting, separate from the limo, though. Sorry to interrupt. I don't like how Kyle stopped drinking after her sister, who is an alcoholic, leaves the show. Wouldn't you support your loved one and not drink while you own the show? Just saying. I thought the timing was odd.
I agree.
If if you love somebody and they struggle with something, you're not gonna be doing what they struggle with right in front of them. Just saying. So it's a mess, but we're gonna keep it moving, you guys. Now, before the event that Bose is going to have for the women on the beach, Jennifer Tennelly mentions how Sutton feels attacked. And she tells the ladies how it looked like the whole situation was potentially coordinated. And Bose laughed. And I'm like, bitch, this ain't got nothing to do with you. What you laughing at? Why do you feel the need to laugh and defend them and insert yourself and stuff? But when the same thing happens from Garcelle, it's a problem. So I really did not like Bose for that because it had nothing to do with her. She shouldn't have felt no type of way about it. I also do agree that it did look planned because in every scene of Dorit and Erica, together or separate, all they can talk about is Sutton. Meanwhile, Erica has a cajillion cases and a half, point two, that she's dealing with because her husband was fraudulent. I think she knew about it. It's quiet as kept. And Dorit, your house, you ain't been paying your bills while this was being filmed. But y'all want to talk about, and you're going through a divorce, but y'all want to talk about Sutton. That's all these heifers want to talk about is fucking Sutton. And it's annoying. It's extremely annoying. But they do make a point. They say, oh, Sutton can dish it out, but she can't take it. The way that Sutton dishes stuff out is with a lot more grace than these other women. And when Sutton is dishing it out, she's calling out when nobody else wants to call out. And if she didn't, we wouldn't have a show. Same with Garcelle. She's doing what she's supposed to do, her job on the show, while the rest of you are trying to keep secrets while you running around with your lesbian girlfriends, filming music videos, hiding backstage. This one doesn't understand where the big little piggy done ran off to and doesn't see that she's part of why her marriage is ending. And then Erica is the hot mess express. So I just cannot. I can't with them. I can't. Shani said Kyle was in a whole lot more episodes of Little House on the Prairie than Kim. But Kim had more lines in her one episode than Kyle throughout the whole series. Shani reading people with the truth.
Right.
Not she read people. And Kyle didn't have that many lines of Halloween either, to my understanding.
She didn't either, and it was actually funny to see her get slammed around by Michael. No, it wasn't. I don't impose that, but she was acting. Okay, she was acting, but it just felt like it was nice to see. I don't know why.
Kyle, one of them chicks that might need to get slammed up though. Come to Oakland, Kyle. Come to the town. We'll give you a great welcome. Come on, girl. Come on over. You might get bipped, but maybe you'll humble yourself. Just saying. Moving on. So Kyle hears from Garcelle in another scene that Sutton wants blind loyalty from her. And she gets mad that Erica tries to say that Sutton hurt Kyle. Or I don't like any of this. Here's the thing. Kyle, you do owe Sutton some type of loyalty. They were very close, and Kyle turned on Sutton the first moment that she could when Diana Jenkins came on the show. Kyle was not a good friend to Sutton, treated her like crap, talked about her, laughed about her, even got physical with her. If Sutton did even 0.5% of the things that Kyle has done, not just to Sutton, but everybody else in the group, then they would be really throwing a fit and crying. So I'm just looking like this is stupid. This is stupid. It's stupid. And I don't think Garcelle should have told her that. I also don't feel like Jennifer Tilly should have been like, yeah, she feels this and that. If your friend mad, let them be mad. Just be like, out of respect for my friend and the way y'all move, she can explain it to you when she's ready. Let's just go about our day. But instead, they came in and they made it about Sutton. No, she's not coming down. This looks like it was a coordinated attack. And, you know, she doesn't feel like she has her loyalty. Defend your friends, but let them express themselves too. Defend your friends when you see them being played. Defend your friends with somebody saying something negative. But don't come down explaining why your friend's not showing up and things of that nature. Like, I didn't get that. But, James, how'd you feel about those little things? Because I know it's all over the place right now.
No, you good. I got which. I actually, here's the thing. Because Jennifer Tilly wasn't wrong. And you know how I know Jennifer Tilly wasn't wrong? Is by how offended Erica got. Yeah, I understand. If Erica was truly, if that wasn't the intent behind why they got with something like that, then Erica wouldn't be bothered. Like, oh, well, she'll get over it in her own time. That's what Erica would have said. But the fact that Erica was so bothered by this, it makes me believe that, yeah, it was orchestrated. And I feel like there was a scene that said it. So so I actually didn't mind it. I actually didn't mind it because I felt like Jennifer Tilly was only going with her discernment of the situation the same way Garcelle was. And that's why I didn't really think that, okay, in most instances, I would agree with you, Mrs. Best. Like, don't talk about my friend. Let her explain herself. But I actually didn't mind it because I felt like that's what we all were looking at. So thank you, Jennifer Tilly, for having the balls to say it. But, you know.
Here's the thing. It's good to say it. But say that you feel that it was coordinated, because Sutton didn't say that she felt that they,
I agree.
planned
I,
that.
I can agree with that.
That's the thing. By them bringing that up when nothing is actively happening, you're putting Sutton into more drama when she's already crying to y'all and telling you she's overwhelmed with the drama. Just shut the fuck up and move on. Now, I don't know why that's hard, but I do also agree with you that I do believe that that was coordinated because all they do is talk about them. However, especially if these two are being accused of always being up Sutton's ass, just let it go, move on. This group is so far past repair, in my opinion, which we'll talk about more at the end. That I don't think they can come back from it with the group the way it is now. But Sutton does decide to end up coming to dinner, which is why I felt like they should have said nothing, because Sutton always calms down, gets herself together, and shows up, which they should know as her friends. And Sutton has no clue that Garcelle has expressed her feelings for her and that Jennifer Tilly has done that. They, were trying to be loyal and they do mean well. But Tilly tells Sutton that she felt ambushed when she told them about, the things that Sutton was feeling and how it looked. And Sutton was mad that they told him because, yes, you're reviving some shit that she just wants to die. And I'm cracking up because then Kyle comes up to Sutton and, Sutton asks Kyle if she thinks that she attacks women when they're at their lowest. Kyle will not answer the question when it's a yes or no fucking question. And so Sutton is like, do you, do you, do you? Almost the name on part 2. And I'm just looking like, Sutton, if you have to ask somebody over and over again a yes or no question, then you got your answer, in my opinion. Kyle has shown you time and time again she is not going to support anybody outside of herself other than her daughters. Kyle will throw her own sister under the bus. Kyle is willing to let the father of her kids, who is still her husband, be dragged so that she can look innocent for wanting to run around munching on carpets. Okay? Kyle is a hot mess and it's shown that she's not loyal to anybody. So stop trying to get it from her and move on, because I don't want to see this shit from Sutton no more. And that made me respect her much less as a housewife and as a woman. You are accomplished. You richer than all these bitches combined. Why do you care what Vile Kyle has to say? Why do you care how she feels? What more does this woman have to do to show you she's not her friend? Just saying. I don't understand
I
it.
just
How do
don't
you feel?
understand. No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I
I
was
was
just
gonna
going to ask you how you felt. That's why I say go ahead.
Oh, okay, because I felt like, why does her opinion, or why does her sympathy, or why does her allegiance matter to you so much? I don't understand that. Like, who the hell is Kyle? Y'all act like Kyle is the Duchess of Cambridge or something. Like, what the hell does she matter? Like, I'm trying to figure out why Sutton wants Kyle to have such, righteous indignation with her. Like, it's like, girl, let it go. That girl don't see it for you. She's not going to unalign herself with Dorit and Erica. She's not going to do it to align herself with you. These are the popular girls of the clique. You're the outsider.
Yep.
Form your own clique and outsmart them. Because I'm telling you, this is what pisses me off about those as well. Because her, Sutton, and Garcelle could have changed the whole trajectory of this show.
Yep.
And it's not even half of that now, because nobody can get on the same course, because you have Bose wanting to be up Dorit's ass, you have Sutton want to be up Kyle's ass, and you have Garcelle who wants to call the shit out but is afraid to do it. So it's crazy.
I don't know. They're miserable. They could have done it. They don't care. And it's funny you say that, because meanwhile, after that scene, Erica and Dorit are talking again about who? Sutton, because they have not shit else to talk about. They don't. If Dorit says anything about her marriage, I believe it'll put her and PK in a pickle as it relates to finances and litigation. And if Erica talks about her situation, while hundreds of finances and litigations are being questioned, then she's fucked. So of course they're going to talk about Sutton, because they can't talk about Kyle, because both of them is broke without their men. And Kyle is the friend that'll give you a house, buy you a purse, let you keep something. I get that energy. So I can't stand them. They talking about her again. Now, everybody ends up going to the table, and Sutton didn't want to do the dinner, which I can understand. But everything goes left when at the dinner table, Sutton still shows up and they start doing impersonations. Now, Erica and Dorit together again, ganging up on her. For those of you who are too damn slow to open your fucking eyes, they were mimicking each other. Yes, Erica, who is it? Garcelle said, "I'll do Erica." Somebody else said, "I'll do this person." Why did two people need to make fun of Sutton at the same time? And then I think the worst thing you could do for people in the South who have those special accents, which I love, and which actually help people to know and recognize America, right? The worst thing you could do to offend them is to be a little too extra when making fun of how they speak. People can't control how they speak, and certain things we should not attack. And I think that's one of them. Sutton is a little country, but not as country as they made her seem. I also feel like Sutton was being hypersensitive because if they was on good feet, and getting along well, I don't think she would have an issue with them mimicking her. But I also think they knew that they were poking the bear. And I think that both of these bitches are bullies that can't keep men, that are gold diggers, in my opinion. So they bring out a birthday cake after Sutton gets mad and is like, "Don't cut me or don't make fun of my accent. And I don't just talk like that." You know, and the birthday cake has Erica and Dorit's face on it. And I forgot it was these heifers' birthdays. Sutton dips out. And what I didn't understand, Sutton, as much money as you have, I would have been chartering a plane and getting the fuck out of there so that they have nothing else to talk about. Why do you sit in these spaces, Sutton? Why do you sit in these spaces and give these bitches something to talk about? Don't argue. Stop showing emotion. Just leave. That's what Garcelle did. Once people start playing with you, just leave. Because nobody is going to see the side of Sutton and empathize with her, especially with her history on this show from beginning to end, until she walks away from it. But instead, she plays this game, cries her little white woman tears, and then Sutton comes back and is like, "Okay, I'm going to do it," and then goes and cries again. It's like, you cannot cry every time people don't like you. Sometimes people just don't like you. And that's okay. And I can't understand why this rich ass lady insists on sitting there acting like she's stuck when she's not. And she has one of the most loyal fan bases left on the show, as quiet as it's kept. So I don't understand it. I just don't. I don't. But how did you feel before I move on to the other scene, James, about that whole little dinner with the cake and all the foolery?
It was foolery. That's all that was. I didn't like the whole imitation thing. I do think that Sutton was being hypersensitive. At the same time, I felt like because it was coming from the two ladies that she's had it out with the most here. I understood it. I understood it because it kind of felt personal. It didn't feel like it was the fun little game that Jennifer Tilly cooked up. I think it was more so, oh, we're going to try to be vindictive and mean at this lady's expense because now we have the avenue to do so. Thank you, Jennifer Tilly. So I kind of felt like for me, I do think she was hypersensitive, but I felt like she had the right to be. In this instance, I do feel like she had the right to be because I would have too, because it would have been different if it came from Kyle, which I think Kyle did make fun of her at some point, or even if Bose did it, or even Garcelle. But the fact of the matter is, them two, no, I don't expect them to take it in quite fun. I think they were doing it to be mean and shady, and that's just what it is.
Oh, wait. So sorry. I had stepped away for a moment, but the last thing I had heard from you, please repeat some of it, because I do agree that they took the opportunity to drag her, and that's why she got offended, because Sutton's not stupid. But let me also catch the comments. I missed a few. Shani said, "Erica is not stupid. I'm sure she heard the rumors over the years about Tom stealing money. She just didn't care as long as she kept getting dough in her pocket." These rumors have been going on for years and years and years.
It's expensive to be me.
Yeah, she knew. There's no way, especially in California, you have an LLC, married or not, you're going to know what's going into it. And if your husband's running it, then that makes you responsible for allowing him to, because it's your LLC. I think Sutton looks at Kyle as the cool girl and she wants to be the head of the Pink Ladies. Sutton needs to figure that out. Not a raggedy ass cake. And they were mean. They're bullies. And what's funny is nobody likes Dorit, and she knows how it feels. Because this cast, we're pretty much every cast member but Kyle, for the most part, at some point has been disgusted with Dorit, laughed at Dorit, talked about Dorit since she got here. And so for her to know what that feels like and to then do it to somebody else is ridiculous. Like, it's just freaking ridiculous. Anywho, moving it along, y'all. Sutton and Bose go to see a chocolatier. Bose, you waited too late. Why are you just now getting with Sutton when Sutton's the one who introduced you to the group the way it was shown to us? Why are you just now in the last episode having a one-on-one with Sutton? Why are you doing that? I don't understand it. And Bose claims that she has made up a narrative in her head, or Bose feels like Sutton has made up a narrative in her head. And that was a very condescending statement, because how dare you say that anybody made up a narrative in their head? People don't just make things up. People feel a way based on how you fucking treat them. And that's why your hair looked the way it looked.
I agree. I agree with that. That scene pissed me off because it's like, now you want to do it when it's too late, and then you want to insult the woman. It's like, okay, Bose, I can't with you, lady. I'm done. But guys, I do apologize. I have to go. But thank you so much, Mrs. Best, for having me. I definitely appreciate you so much. Cannot wait for our live tomorrow. I'm excited.
Okie dokie. We got to keep it moving, you guys, because I do have to work tomorrow also. So I got to get the hell off of here. But I'm going to try and ship it through. But yeah, I'm glad that he made that comment, because I think that everybody was annoyed with that. Bose, you took way too long, and then you assume that someone's making up a narrative in their head. That is rude. This woman's narrative comes off of your behavior. And Bose is so quick to say to everybody else, you need to be accountable. Just admit it and move on. But when it comes to Bose admitting fault and things, she doesn't. She doesn't. And then she says, well, she said this, so I'm going to try it out. She never admits fault. So she herself is also not that innocent, in my opinion. But Bose and Sutton do end up talking further. And Sutton says that she heard the things that were said. And she explains how all of this stuff and the issues did not come out of nowhere. Sutton is not letting off of Bose's neck. Bose don't understand. You come into this group, you align with one person, and then you focus on that person so much so until you see that the other person is impacted and say, maybe they are mad about something. So I'm glad that Sutton did tell her that. Now, Bose says that she has heard Erica say many of the things that Erica told to Sutton on the boat. Bose tells Sutton, I've been hearing Erica say these things, and Bose is trying to still kiss Erica's ass in some ways. She says she was glad that Erica finally said something, because if you're going to talk behind somebody's back, say it to their face, which I also feel like is weak. And as much shit as Erica talked, you saying it to my face ain't going to make the sting feel no better. But Sutton mentions to Bose how Dorit and Kyle and their husbands made fun of Erica and her situation. They literally laughed at it. We all did. But Sutton is the one being held accountable. All of the ladies were the ones who came to Sutton and were like, oh, this is a problem, this and that. And Sutton said, maybe I'll talk to my attorney. She talked to her attorney. All of the ladies felt like, damn, Erica's lying. There's secrets. We don't really know who she is. And now she's acting a fool. But Sutton is the only person that's being held accountable by Erica for really the treatment that all of the ladies had. I think that Erica's just more mad at Sutton because at the time, Sutton had the deepest pockets and was the most well-connected in real life off screen. And that impacted them to a certain extent. So I can definitely understand Sutton's point of view in that situation. But Sutton, you keep saying you're done apologizing, and you keep saying there's a double standard, and then you keep apologizing and you keep putting yourself in situations where you have to recognize and deal with that double standard. So I need Sutton to do a little bit better. A little bit, because Sutton makes valid points and then she gets emotional and she makes these emotionally reactive choices, which irk me. Shani said, Bose, go back and look at past seasons and how Sutton was cheated and the things these ladies have called her. Right. Bose don't want to do that. She gonna act like she too busy, even though this is her only job right now. I don't know. But we're gonna, let me catch another comment. Shani says, Sutton asked the questions we all wanted to know, the viewers wanted to know, and the cast wanted to know. Right, because nobody else was going to do it. Which, in my opinion, the fact that the women were too scared to ask Erica the questions, see them off the show. We want to see y'all ask each other hard questions and stuff, not bully each other. If you're too scared to ask somebody a question, then don't be on reality TV. That's how I feel personally. And if you don't want people to ask you questions about your life, then don't be on reality TV. Kyle, Erica, and I done forgot her name. Pori, whatever the hell. So I didn't understand that. There is a double standard, and I think anybody that doesn't acknowledge that is crazy. But hey, opinions are subjective, and people are entitled to them. So Dorit's dumbass on the other side claims that Sutton is not always a bitch. And Dorit and Erica are talking, and she's like, yeah, she's enjoyable, she's kind, but y'all just told her she attacks women when they're at their lowest. Now you see the positive in her? Which one is it? Why label her as somebody who's not supportive of women and a bitch if you're going to say that it's just bitchy moments that she has that you people provoke? It makes absolutely zero sense. So I'm just looking at Dorit. The biggest thing that irked me is Dorit says that anyone lacking sincerity, she says that Sutton lacks sincerity. She also says that Sutton's emotions are performative. Dorit, you are a bitch that came on this show pretending to be rich when you weren't. And ain't nothing wrong with not being rich, but you came on this show acting like you have more money than you did. You stabbed your husband's good friend Lisa Vanderpump in the back. You ran off one of the best cast members on the show, in my opinion, personally. And everything you do has been performative and fake, down to your accent. Bitch, you're from Connecticut. People from there don't talk like that. So I just cannot with Dorit saying anything. Her and Erica, in my opinion, they just want to be victims. I do think that Erica specifically has some valid points, but it's just, she's not the person that should be delivering those points, in my opinion, at all. And I'm sorry, y'all may have been impressed by Dorit smoking that damn cigarette. I was not. To be able to kiss that man with that grill, she had to be smoking something. So, hey, it is what it is. Now, Bose, you had these white women dress up for Carnival, which is a celebration of freedom, for those who don't know, in Black, Caribbean, African cultures, usually in the Caribbean cultures and things of that nature. Bose just had these women dress up and didn't even give them the cultural background. But sis, you supposed to be so supportive of Black history and Black culture, and you want to represent your culture, but you gonna have Carnival on here and not explain to a group of white women why they're dressed the way that they are dressed. But you so pro-Black? Just Google the definition and why they celebrate Carnival. Google that. It's a shame I have to say that, because Bose, you should have explained the background and the cultural significance that it has for brown-skinned people, especially from the Caribbean. But okay, Bose. You also could have leaned into Garcelle, who is from Haiti, and probably talked to her and had her share her culture as well. And we just could have had the blackest fucking episode of Beverly Hills ever. But no, you just let them dress up in the clothes and dance around drinking. Like, that's all that it means. There's a reason for the celebration. That'd be like me having a bunch of women put on red, black, and green to celebrate Juneteenth and not tell them what the colors are supposed to stand for. Doesn't make any sense. That's why I be like not feeling Bose. Like, don't use culture as a way to be accepted, but also, to act the fool. I just don't like that. Let me catch the comment. Shani said, Dorito, you are from Connecticut. Talk like you're from Connecticut. Right. Just talk like how you talk. Hell. DM Rock said, who do you think looked the best in their outfits? I know James is going to do a live for the reunion. They all looked terrible. The only one, in my opinion, who slayed was Garcelle. Garcelle looked good. Bose looked okay. It just didn't look like reunion wear. I know that she wore Ghanaian designers and things of that nature. Wasn't an ugly dress, but I just didn't think it fit for the reunion. She looked like she was going to a picnic or an after graduation party or something. But I did like Garcelle's look the best. I think the colors they chose aligned better for people with some color to their skin, to be entirely honest. The rest of the women just looked swallowed up and simple. But, they didn't look bad. None of them looked bad. They just looked simple, if that makes sense. Shani said, Bose, the staff that was helping everyone get dressed could have given them a quick explanation of Carnival. They could have, but they sure didn't care to show it if that was the case, which also bothers me. I think that Kyle's ass looked nice in that outfit. Kyle has a great body and she works for it. She doesn't stop drinking. She's constantly working out. That's one thing. We can say what we want about Kyle. I don't like her. She is vile the way that she moves, and she's extremely pretentious. But her body looked great. She did. But Mo don't want that. He don't want that. He want a spring chicken, a young one. Just say it. That's what he wants. But the ladies move on, you guys, to the Carnival event, and they sit down at the dinner table, which was funny with all them wings and stuff trying to fit on it. And Erica ruins the moment by asking who said that she coordinated the attack. And this is where Jennifer Tilly speaks up and says that it was how things appeared. Sutton didn't say this. And this is where we learned that apparently Erica and Sutton had spoken on this before. And Erica says, I do want to move forward with you. See, Erica is smarter than Dorit. Dorit, you accuse Sutton of being an alcoholic. You've come for her parenting. You have said so much about her that, in my opinion, is unforgivable. Erica did get at Sutton when Sutton was questioning her about Tom, but she was left to take all of the heat. But Erica hasn't actively gone as low as Dorit as it relates to Sutton. So I do believe that Erica does want to move on. I don't like Erica Girardi, but I do believe that she values this platform much more than all of the other women right now in a different way, because this is all she has left. Yeah, she may have done Chicago, but the more lawsuits that come out as Tom Girardi gets older, I don't think he's going to live long enough to even see through these lawsuits. And I think eventually Erica will be the one held accountable. And I think that she knows that because Erica is not stupid. So I do feel like she'll make peace with Sutton, because Sutton's the only person who said, if you need me to loan you like $200K, I can. None of these other heifers will say that. So I do feel like Erica is calculated in what she does, and so she will find a way to move forward with Sutton. But as for Doris, I genuinely just do not think that. But Garcelle says, you tell me and I want to move forward that this was not coordinated, then I will believe you. And they do end in peace, but we know from the reunion that's not going to last. We know that's not going to last, y'all. We know that's not going to last. Now, let me catch the comments. He said, did you see Dorit trying to twerk? That's why her husband left. Listen, Kyle asked for the separation. I would be so embarrassed if a man that looked like PK Smells publicly said he just don't want to deal with me after allegedly setting up a robbery and botching that because me and the kids was home. Nope. Shani said, I saw a lot of fake boobs in these outfits. There were a lot of boobs that were not moving. I mean, for me, that's even outside of the Housewives, I think reality TV has a lot of people just into plastic surgery. I also think beyond TV pressures people in general of any age to want to look good, look young, all of those things. Nobody's titties are harder and stiffer than Erica Mena. Them things look like if I was to pick up a shotgun and shoot her in the chest, she would survive because the damn bullet wouldn't make it past them titties. So, it could be worse, but a lot of them do have, fake bodies. I was cracking up at Kathy Hilton. What the hell was she wearing? And Kathy just throughout the whole episode was putting on skincare and spraying shit in her drinks and all types of stuff. Kathy just existing for some reason people find to be funny, but I actually liked how down to earth Kathy was just in this episode. They said, Kathy, what are you wearing? There's some shorts and a shirt. But Kathy came for a vacation. She said, Rick let me outside and I'm gonna be outside. Shanny said, Dia Roxanne was not a twerk, that was a spasm. See, Dorit, I would love if someone would ask Bose if she's okay with being Dorit's first Black friend who wasn't the help. I would love them to ask Bose that at the reunion. I would love it. I would genuinely love it. I really would. But before we go away, I looked at my DVR. I said, what the hell? An hour and 46 minutes. What the fuck could there be to talk about? Apparently, we have to talk about Tom Girardi being found guilty on 4 counts of embezzlement. For those who don't understand, Tom Girardi helped victims of big companies such as Pacific Gas and Electric, who needs to lower my damn bill if any PG&E employees is watching, because y'all charging too much. Y'all keep setting wildfires and then charging us for it. The fuck? 1-bedroom apartment. Ain't no way I should have a $500 bill every month. Ain't no way. And the rent high? Y'all want Californians to rebel. But I digress. Tom Girardi was found guilty on 4 counts of embezzlement. Mind you, this is just one of his many cases. He faces more years in prison than he has left to live, as Erica says. And what pisses me off is that instead of Erica saying, damn, the facts proved that my ex-husband did have a part in harming people, and he did do the wrong thing. And instead of saying that she's disappointed, she says she feels sorry that this is how his legacy is ending because he was so brilliant. None of it was real. He impacted lawyers who were honest, causing them to have issues with the bar. He has people who need the money that he allegedly was supposed to give to them after winning their cases. He used that shit to go into Erica's LLC. And you got people who can barely afford to keep up with the medical care they need to have a decent quality of life after that damn San Bruno explosion. I live in the Bay Area. I am a California native. I've been here my entire life. And so I remember all of these things on the news. I remember people celebrating the small wins, thinking, oh, wow, someone finally stuck it to them. And to find out that hundreds of millions, California has millions of people here, to find out that regular people such as myself, I'm on a social worker income, I am not rich, and I'm a graduate student. You got regular people like myself working doubly as hard than we have to, and stressing out because it's so hard just to pay the damn light bill. And our rates are raised thinking, well, at least the people got the money they deserved, and they didn't. So it's disgusting that Erica would even get this segment at the end of the season. It's even grosser that she feels bad for Tom. Fuck Tom Girardi. Because why did you do that to those people? Why did you do that to those people? I don't understand it. And then he basically got away with it. He's sitting in the nursing home with public defenders helping him. Hell, in a very nice nursing home, not like the nursing homes I see my clients in. So it's disgusting and appalling that Erica still feels some type of way for him. However, if I take my personal feelings out of it, that was her husband, and she would not have left that man if all of this wasn't happening with the litigation. She thought she could divorce him before all this shit came out. And the judge said, bitch, no. So I'm looking at Erica like this is crazy. I don't understand why Bravo even gave her the time of day. I don't know who feels sorry for Tom Girardi. I don't know who feels sorry for Erica Girardi outside of clear people who have preference in this world, in this country. But I didn't mean to go on a rant, but I just cannot with the bullshit. Erica, you said a whole lot of nothing. And Kyle, you running over to comfort Erica when you was questioning Erica seasons ago with Sutton. So all of these women can go. All of them can go. They disgusted me. She said, are you listening, PG&E? They don't care. PG&E separate from Tom Girardi. A lot of the wildfires that happen in Northern California, like the Camp Fire back in 2017, 18, we have wildfires all the time, but the ones that actually harmed communities, a lot of those are found to be the fault of PG&E. There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of different terrains of nature in California. And in the areas where those fires were so bad, that's like up north near Chico State, things like that. Beautiful, but so many trees, so many mountains, just a lot to burn. So PG&E has a requirement to operate as a private utility company to trim the trees, prepare when it gets hot, trim the brush, the trees, all of that. They didn't do it. It causes fires. So it's one of those things. Shani says she feels so sorry about his legacy, but what about the burn victims and the airplane victims that did not get their money? Exactly. They don't have their money, but they're forced to have to pay for the medical care they need for being survivors. Go watch The Housewife and the Hustler parts 1 and 2 on Hulu for those who have it. You're going to look at that shit appalled. There's no way that Erica did not know, in my personal opinion. I want to protect myself, so I'd like to remind everybody to see the bottom of the screen where it says thank you for watching. We do hope that you like the video, and we also hope that you subscribe to the channel. We do our recaps weekly, and at the end of it, it explains that all things discussed are opinions, and they are not fact. They are for entertainment purposes. Okay, they are alleged. So don't nobody come for me with your lawsuits. Don't do that. Shady said, I love the movie Aaron Brockovich, and the lawyer in the movie is supposed to be Tom. And allegedly, them people didn't get their money neither. So just terrible. Like, California has a lot of pretentious, elitist people who are shady as hell. Shady as hell. That's what's wrong with this fucking state. Shani says, I don't feel sorry for them. Look at their damn mansion they was living in for how many decades? Right. Dear Brock said, I just can't wait for Miami. I heard something that happens to Gertie would make fans mad. I'm sure it would. I will be covering Housewives of Miami. James said that he would join me. I know he doesn't watch the show like that, but that's fine. I didn't care for Salt Lake City, and I joined him. We support each other. So I'm excited because I know James is going to have strong opinions. I feel like Miami is underrated in to a certain extent. But I also don't like Larsa. I'm just letting you know ahead of time, DM Rock. She irks me. She irks me a lot. And that's a whole different person. We don't even know if that's really Larsa. If you look at the pictures from years ago when she was murdered to now, you'd be like, who is this woman? Shady said, oh, really? They didn't get their money either. Nobody got their money. There's hundreds of cases against Tom Girardi. Hundreds of them. Some people have been silenced. He's ended the careers of attorneys trying to do the right thing. It's not just victims. It's regular people like me and the people watching these lives who have been impacted by him in every which way that you could imagine. So it's foolery. But we will be going over the reunion, y'all. We will be going over the reunion once it airs. Same time. We always recap the day after. Ooh. I hope Gertie grabbed her by the throat. I hope I really do. I think that's the worst thing you could do is spit on somebody or throw something on them, things like that. Like, please don't. Please don't. Miami, I started watching it late. I only watched last season. I do try to watch like little recaps of it here and there, like when I have time. Like at work, I like to put on shows when I'm documenting because it helps me focus. But that's okay. I think Miami's really interesting. Even without me watching every single season, I was drawn in. I was genuinely interested. I think it's time for certain segments of Housewives to go away. I think Orange County can go. I think they're done. Beverly Hills, if they change the cast, they could stay. Otherwise, Beverly Hills can go. I think New Jersey needs to definitely not come back. New York can go. I'm not the biggest Real Housewives fan right now, and that is why we recap a lot of the Housewives shows on James's channel, because I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think a lot of them serve a certain population, if y'all get my gist. And then Married to Medicine, I was originally supposed to cover that, but I love that show too much. I said, James, you cover it, because I'll be biased as hell covering Married to Medicine. She said, oh no, don't spit. I'm going to jail if you spit on me. Let's see. I've had someone do it to me, and I did lose freedom for a short time. That was over like 20 years ago, though. But yeah, I wish somebody would. Nope. That other Gemini got 7 other twins that'll come get you. She said, never watched Orange County or New York. Roni used to be good. I don't like the reboot of it. I can't get into it, so I stopped watching Housewives of New York, the reboot. And I stopped watching the OGs on Roni after Jill, she left. So I stopped being interested in them and all of that. I think Bravo has a problem with trying to keep housewives that were there from day one, you know, on their franchises. I think they have a problem with keeping them there. And change is what makes the world go round. If you continue to change your cast and change these shows, you will stay relevant. keep doing the same shit with the same people, we gonna get tired of it. Like I was tired of Vicky. I'm tired of Tamara. I'm tired of all of these women actually across the franchises, y'all. But this was an interesting season of Beverly Hills. I think it's good that Bravo is trying to get housewives of different colors, but they are not going to succeed, in my personal opinion. And you guys are more than welcome to have a different opinion with me. I think that Beverly Hills will be the next franchise to die if they do not get rid of Kyle at the very least. I think Kyle needs to go. Erica's controversial, so I can understand why they would keep her, even though I don't like her. But at the same time, she knew what her husband was doing, and she married that man young. She knew what she was doing. She wanted security and income, and this is the price she has to deal with now. Doesn't mean she actively committed the crime, but I think she knew some type of wrongdoing was happening, maybe not to the extent. Dorit has never given anything, in my opinion, but outfits that I question and a fake accent. No one's ever really liked Dorit. Garcelle gave nothing. I think Sutton's time is up. James may hate me for saying that if he's watching this or will watch, but I definitely feel like Sutton's time is up, and I'm surprised that Sutton survived past those racially insensitive comments that she made in her first season when she was just a friend of. But yeah, they need to change some things or it's gonna die. And people like Bose, you know, I don't like the way Bose moves as it relates to Black culture. In my opinion, she's everything wrong sometimes with how Black women behave once they get success. However, I can see Bose wanting to be ethical, but I don't think she knew how to come into a group like this. So I feel like she's stuck with whoever would be the easiest to accept her. And that was Dorit, because nobody fucking liked Dorit prior to Bose coming here. Nobody could tolerate Dorit. Erica couldn't stand her. Sutton couldn't stand her. Garcelle couldn't stand her. Lisa Rinna used to be annoyed with her. We know LVP didn't like her. Kathy never says 2 words to her, feels sorry for her. And prior to Bose, no one was fucking with Dorit. Now, I hope that Dorit remembers that with her cigarette in that car. Anywho, let me see. When Sutton gave Dorito the fake British accent, I was cracking up. Right. But you know what? We are going to be live again tomorrow. I'm going to be trying something different for the first time. So I hope that anybody who supports myself or likes the content that I do will open up and support this. We're going to be doing a live tomorrow. Myself, James, and Shayna. We're going to be doing a live on my channel, just discussing relationships, but we're going to use reality TV couples that are popular and give our thorough opinions, because we all have different perspectives. James has dated men and women. Shayna is a mother, has also been married, divorced. She's done it all. And I am someone who's been with my high school sweetheart since I was 16. So we all have different perspectives. It should be a fun, open discussion. Anybody's willing to join. You can talk about whatever you want. I'm going to just start doing that so that I'm not so formal, because y'all people here on YouTube, y'all like my internet homies, because I don't like people, but I love y'all. I do. So I hope to see you guys there tomorrow. James will also be having an updates video coming where we discuss the Beverly Hills fashions along with a slew of other things. But happy hump day, y'all. Go hump something. I hope y'all enjoy your evenings. I really do. And let me see, I'll be the only Black woman to let her feel a little bit of what Garcelle had to feel. Lisa Rinna needs to just go somewhere and fire her plastic surgeon and help Harry to love women again. That's what I'll say. But we'll be back, you guys, again tomorrow. We'll be back next week to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills stream. And I will be picking up several shows as well that we'll go over in James's live. But love and light to all of you, Thug Life, and let's get through the week. I'll see y'all next time.